Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest GoSkills Excel Challenge solution. How close did you get to solving it? Well, we've got Microsoft trainer Deborah Ashby ready to share her solution. Check it out right now.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at how I solved this challenge. So in this challenge, we're dealing with a stock inventory database. And the first thing I asked you to do was to create a drop-down list in cell B5 that lists OK, low stock, and order now. And I wanted you to use cell references when you were putting this together. So this is just a simple case of creating a data validation drop-down list and using these cells to populate the list. So let's click in cell B5. We're going to go to data, across to the data tools group, and we're going to choose data validation. We want to create ourselves a list, and the source for our list is going to be these cells just here. Let's click on OK, and now we have our nice little drop down with those items. Now, the next thing I asked you to do was in column L, use logical functions to determine if a product is OK, low stock, or order now. So we're basing these calculations off of the amount of stock that we have left. So this column just here. And I also asked you to make sure that this is all dynamic so that if any new products are added to the bottom, they're included in our final results. Now, the easiest way to do that is simply to convert this data set into a table. So I'm going to press Control T. Yes, my table has headers. Let's click on OK. Now, I'm actually just going to remove banded rows because I don't particularly like them. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my table a name. Now, this step is entirely optional, but it's a good habit to get into. So on the table design ribbon, in the table name field just here, I'm going to call this inventory. This is just going to make my formulas a little bit more meaningful. So now we need to add in a logical formula to determine the status of each product. So I'm actually going to move these instructions out of the way. Let's move them over here because I'm going to use the if-s function. Now you could have used nested if statements just here, but I'm going to go with if-s simply because it is a little bit shorter. So our first logical test. Well, what we're going to say here is if the amount of stock left is less than or equal to 10, and I want to lock that in place, then we want it to return order now in the status column, F4 to lock that in place. Logical test 2, if the stock left is less than or equal to 40, then we want to return low stock in the status column. And the final logical test, if the stock left is less than or equal to 100, then we want it to return OK. That is our formula. Let's close the bracket, hit enter, and then we can double clickety-click to copy that down. So now we can see quite clearly which products are OK, which ones are low stock, and which ones we need to order now based on that logical formula. The next instruction was to add a formula that filters the stock inventory list depending on what's been selected in the filter above. So effectively, I want to be able to select low stock, for example, from here, and only see the items that have a status of low stock underneath. Now, this is where we can use the filter function. So we're going to type in equals filter. Our array is basically the information that we want to return. Now, I don't want to return every single column in this table. I don't really need to return the status column because the status is defined by the drop-down list. So I'm going to hover my mouse over the top here and just select these 4 columns. That's what I want to return, comma. The next argument is what we want to include. So I only want to return results where the status column is equal to what we have selected in the filter. And we're going to press F4 to lock that in place, comma. The last argument is optional. This is just kind of like a catch-all. So if it doesn't find any results, what do we want it to say? So I'm just going to say no records on the end here. Again, that's optional. You didn't have to put that in. Let's hit enter and see what we get. So now I should be getting only the products that are listed in the stock inventory database as low stock. And if we take a quick look here, I can see products 2, 3, and 5 are in my filtered results. And if I look at the table, 2, 3, and 5, those are all low stock. So this looks like it's working really well. And if we change the drop down, let's go to Order Now, we can see those. And again, with OK, we can see a list of those. The final thing here was to add a product to the bottom of the table and check it's returned in the filtered list. So this is just really checking to make sure that you've set this up as a table and it's working correctly. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to add product 51 onto the bottom, and let's just say 80, and we'll say 70 just here. So this has a status of Order Now. So if I switch the filter to Order Now, I would expect to see product 51. So there we go. It's already on Order Now, and at the bottom, it's automatically updated with product 51. So everything is working correctly. And that's how we solve this challenge. Tell us what you think about our solution to this challenge by commenting below or joining the conversation on our Slack channel. That's it for now. I will see you next time.
So there it is. Did you get the same results? Did you use the same approach? Or did you try something different? We'd like to know. Share your take on the challenge in the comments below or join us for more discussion in our Slack channel. Link in the description. Thanks for participating, and make sure to subscribe to this channel to get an alert when the next challenge is released. We'll see you then.